Hello, hello, this is Irene with SaugaTalks. Hello, everyone. I speak weekly with fascinating people in tech. So please listen. Listen to SaugaTalks on major podcasting platforms. Watch on YouTube. I want your comments. I want your likes because it's not just for my own sake, it's for larger audiences out there to discover the fantastic talks because with me here are executives, influencers, experts, people who matter in the technical world. And we talked about AI, we're talking about automation, we're talking about sustainability, important trends that's out there. But it's good to have wonderful guests with me here. And today I'm incredibly privileged because Tolani Jaiye-Tikolo with me. Tolani, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm happy to be here.
At SaugaTalks, as I mentioned, automation takes central stage in a lot of conversation I'm having here. And you, Tolani, you're an expert, you're a founder, you're an RPA company founder, which is incredible. It is completely incredible accomplishment so far, Tolani. Why don't we start? Because we announced the topic as preparing for intelligent automation. Where do you see the technical business leaders should start when we think about intelligent automation these days?
I think it's not just intelligent automations with any tech. You need to really have a vision for it. So particularly intelligent automation, you need the vision, the clear vision that needs to be communicated top down. And when we're talking about vision, we're talking about, what are your vision for your intelligent automation? This is usually would be tied to, what your company is trying to achieve. For a company like Amazon, for example, customer service is key. And when you're creating a vision for intelligent automation, you need to tie that into customer service, something that's achievable. Some goals with it as well. We want to reduce customer wait times by 75%. And how do we achieve that? So it's all about your strategy for achieving that. So it's intelligent automation is different from RPA or some of the other technologies because you're thinking more strategic as opposed to thinking more tactical with the solutions. So it's a lot with vision. Then once you have defined what your vision looks like, it's very important to have, you need to have all your key stakeholders. And with intelligent automation, you're talking about people from the business. You're talking about your senior management, your CTO, CIO, who's going to be sponsoring your intelligent automation practice. And most especially, and also especially, you need IT. IT needs to be prepared, IT readiness for intelligent automation, because without IT, you're pretty much just walking on eggshells. So you need all these key people, business heads, all these key people, part of your intelligent automation practice. They need to be part of your stakeholders. Then once you've defined, what your this kind of structure for yourself, like once you have the buy-in, the next thing is always to think about organization. The next thing to think about is the technology, as opposed to starting with the technology then trying to define your organization. So you start with what's our organization going to look like? Is it going to be a center of excellence? Is it going to be a federated practice? What are kind of people we need? And the people you need depends on what you're trying to achieve. Especially that comes back to your vision. So if you're talking about customer service, you're probably thinking about maybe chatbot, some of the other underlying technologies, and that brings me back to my typical example about your carpenter's toolbox. Every time I talk about intelligent automation, I always mention your carpenter's toolbox. A carpenter would always have whatever they need for the job, right? They would never carry everything they have in their toolbox for a job. They would only carry what they need for the job. Meaning every company would have their intelligent automation would look different because it depends on what they're trying to achieve. So when you define all these, what are your technology areas, then based on what your technology might look like, you might start thinking about different set of people. You might be looking at an ML engineer, for example. You might be looking at a data, specialist, your BI, your RPA, low code, depending on what you're trying to achieve. And also there are other things that would really support in terms of your strategy. You need to think about how would you deliver. Again, it's another question. How would you deliver? What's your governance going to look like? What's your support going to look like? How do you deliver business outcome? It's all about, I would always say, it's all about strategy, And how you go about it, the different steps you go about it. But at the end of the day, you're trying to get to a business, a favorable business outcome.